This is how we fulfill our agency's clients. We've done over 200K a month, 200 plus active clients, and we've been doing this for 4 years. I teach students how to do the exact same thing. I'm going to show you our exact service that we're using in 2025 and how you can replicate it for yourself. So I'm going to jump straight into my computer. I'm going to show you the exact same playthrough. So watch slowly, pause while you can, write down notes, and you're going to want to know this. Okay, so I'm going to jump on my computer and show you exactly how we run our ads for clients in 2025. Like I said, we run this for over 200 of our clients, actively get great results for our agency so we can build the testimonials and scale with confidence. So let's dive in. And the first thing is your ad campaign. So if you're an agency, I assume you're going to be running Facebook ads, and that's exactly what we do. What I like to do is always start off with an ABO campaign. CBO campaigns are good eventually once you have some winning ads and want to scale up their ad account. But if you're running ads for like a local home service based business, which we do as well, you're probably going to only want to spend around $30 to $50 a day maximum. And with that budget, I definitely recommend an ABO. And from there, I always like to split it up into different ad sets between $5 to $10 per ad set. And each ad set is essentially running the exact same offer, the exact same targeting. You're just testing different creative types. That's the biggest thing because now you can manually control the spending on which ad set is working. So for example, if I go to one of our ad accounts here for a client, you can see we have a campaign, Home Eval Strat, and we have a bunch of ad sets, and each ad set has different creatives that we're running for. So this one is different copy. This one's a whole new image itself. As you see, different images, and that's the way we like to run it. For the actual setup itself, I always recommend using Advantage Plus audiences. Facebook's algorithm is so good now where you can just kind of rely on their algorithm to know who you should be targeting. The days of custom audiences are gone, and essentially you just want to be using the basic audience, use your geographic targeting, include all placements because again, Facebook's targeting is good enough where you can just keep it that way. So that's what I'd recommend. Different ad sets, different creatives. So for the ads itself, we like to run a lot of video ads and image ads. For the image ads, all you need nowadays is just using ChatGPT 4.0. That's really all you need to do to have a high performing creative ad set. You don't need to hire a graphic designer off Fiverr for $200 to make ad creatives. Easily just get good at prompting. You can make your own with the ChatGPT. For the video ads, a little bit different. We still get our clients to film the ads themselves. We provide them the scripts and provide them some tips or information on how to make the videos look good. And yeah, they film it, we edit them, and video ads always work really, really well if the client is okay or good on the video and you have a really good script with good hooks. So for this client in particular, he's in Spanish, but the video ads outperform the image ads a ton, gave him a lot of credibility in the area, and the results were really, really good. So I recommend testing both video and image ads. It's not that hard anymore with AI. You can definitely get it done very easily. So that's what I'd recommend. Also, for the call to action, always use learn more. Some people like to use download now or contact me now. Always use learn more. People want to actually learn more about the offer, what they're getting themselves into before they commit. So that you don't want any obligations needed. Learn more is always the best, and include good headlines. So the headlines for this one, like get a custom list of downsizing homes. Obviously, it depends on your niche. It's always going to be different. Make it super simple so the user knows exactly what they're going to be getting when they click on learn more. So from there, on your ads, you can either run an instant form or run them to a landing page built through something like Go High Level or ClickFunnels. What I always recommend, always start with an instant form, and you can use some base level questions because at this point you just want volume and you want to be able to test which ad creative and which offer is working. So the easiest way to do that and drive volume is through instant forms. The problem with instant forms is the quality is always going to be worse. So eventually, once you start testing out these different ad creatives and you're testing out the instant form, you're getting really good volume, getting like $10 cost per leads. Your click-through rate is 1 to 2% above, and things are looking good at that end, and now you just want to increase quality, then I would move over to a custom-built landing page. For this client, we got them to film a full VSL. So step 1 is to watch the VSL. Step 2 is to fill out a survey. So this way, when the lead shows up as an actual lead in our system, they've already watched the VSL, they've already filled out a survey, so they're super, super qualified. They know exactly what they're getting themselves into, and it's going to be a way easier close for your client. But it's hard to start off directly with landing pages when you don't know which ads or offer works. So that's why I always recommend starting out with instant forms. If you want a further video on building out landing pages, let me know. It's a little bit more complicated, but if you have templates. So next is the booking page. So regardless if you're using instant form or the landing pages, you still want to have a booking page set up for your clients. And this is obviously for all service-based businesses, but you want to build out a booking page like this. Like a through Go High Level is always the easiest way. So it's just something like, hey, thanks for filling out the survey. Someone will be contacting you shortly. If you'd like to schedule a direct appointment with your client, please schedule a time below. And you can hook up your client's Google Calendar, whatever calendar they use, and set up a custom calendar through Go High Level. So this way, it might skip the whole process of you having to call them and actually set an appointment. If the lead is interested enough, they can book in their own, and that's easy appointment for your client. So yeah, definitely recommend building this out, whether you're using instant forms or a landing page. Going down further, after they book in a appointment through the landing page, or even if they don't book an appointment through this booking page, as long as they just filled out this ad and you got their information, you want to make sure you have automation set up. Again, Go High Level is usually the easiest way to do this depending on your niche, but you can set up automation so it sends out internal notification so you know when your client is getting a lead. He's going to get a text with the lead's information, all the information he needs to set up an appointment. You can set up SMS notifications for your lead, notifying them that, hey, thanks for filling out this ad. This is what's going to happen next. Kind of just use this to start the conversation and make sure your lead is informed of what's going to happen afterwards. And then what we have is also ISAs. So this stands for Inside Sales Agents. We give these inside sales agents scripts. You can hire them as VAs off like onlinejobs.ph or other platforms like Fiverr. Get people to call for you. This is going to add a lot of value to your service, and it's going to make the whole service stress-free for your client because they can sit back and relax and take appointments. They don't have to worry about calling 50 to 100 leads a day that you're generating. You have people doing this for them. So you can give them a script. This script is just made through Claude. It's very high converting. Obviously, this is for the real estate niche. Depending what niche you're on, I definitely recommend a script anyways. And just make sure you're getting the ISA is getting notifications as soon as a lead comes in, because speed to lead is going to be huge. If you can call a lead within the first 5 minutes that they come in the system, you're going to have a 3x chance of actually converting them to an appointment. So definitely make sure you have automations and you have an ISA calling, or even you doing the calling for these leads. So you're trying to book appointments with them as fast as possible. Now, after that, you want to go into the CRM management. So like I said, Go High Level, keep bringing it up because it's such a great platform. But you want to make sure you have everything organized inside of there so you can track who's actually booking in appointments, who's getting appointments, if there's follow-ups needed for some of the leads. You want to make sure this is as organized as possible, because now if your client goes in here, say you're in the roofing niche and each opportunity is worth 10,000. If you have 10 booked appointments, that's at least 100,000 worth of opportunities. And now when you talk to your clients, you go on your bi-weekly catch-up calls, whatever that looks like, you can ask them how these appointments are going, and you can easily track the ROI that they're getting from your service. And this is going to help a lot, because obviously if there's a lot of appointments but they're not showing up, then you've identified a problem that you need to increase show-up rate. And the more data, the better, to make better decisions for your agency. But definitely make sure you have a CRM set up and it's all completely organized and good to go. After that, you're making money. So you basically just have to repeat this process for every client. If you use the same systems and you're in the same niche, you can easily template all this out. So when you onboard a client, you know exactly what you're doing. And now you can scale it for the rest of your team and you're fulfilling like crazy. And this is a proven process that works. Keep it simple. You don't need anything more than this. Like I said, eventually, if you want to scale up, you can dive into CBO campaigns. You can dive into better ad creatives and videos, all that good stuff. But the biggest things you want to look out for is also this as well. So first thing is expectations. You want to make sure your client has the right expectations when you onboard them as a client. You don't want them expecting to make their ROI in 1 week, 2 weeks, even the first month. You want to set the expectations that like, hey, this is a new acquisition system for your business. This may take a few months to actually see your ROI, but this is a whole new acquisition system that we can scale up over time that's going to bring you consistent results. So expectations are huge. Communication is also massive. So for us, we have bi-weekly catch-up calls with all of our clients. We have weekly updates, even daily updates if they need them. We want to make sure we're over communicating because this is going to make the client feel at ease. The worst thing that you can do is kind of just ghost your client and they have no idea what's going on. That's going to cause a lot of trouble, a lot of problems, and they're going to get very anxious about your service. So communication is absolutely massive. Results, this one's obvious, but not enough agencies do it. Make sure you're actually getting results for your clients. Like I said, make sure you're tracking everything, what ROI they're getting from your service. Because now when it comes to re-sign or any troubled conversations, you can bring up how much money they've made from the service because they may not know. If you're not providing the results or showing the numbers, they don't know exactly what they're getting. But if you have the numbers, you can be like, yeah, you're getting a 10x return on this investment. This is an obvious decision. Let's tweak some things to make the service better. But as long as you have the results to stand behind your back, you're always going to be able to win and retain those clients. Tracking, like I mentioned, tracking is absolutely massive. You want to be tracking show-up rates, the lead to appointment ratio, the close rate for your clients, everything in between. It depends on your niche, what exact metrics you should be tracking, but tracking is always massive, leads to better decisions. And finally, SOPs. So depending on where you're at with your agency right now, you're eventually going to want to scale, and that means hiring more employees or media buyers or ISAs, whatever that looks like. Make sure you have your process completely SOP'd out into a Google Drive or anything like Notion. Make sure it's all there so when you onboard a new employee, they can follow the SOPs and redo exactly everything that you did to make clients work instead of playing the guessing game and relying on them to do their own training. SOPs are absolutely going to be massive. But overall, this is a proven way to fulfill for your clients. I know a lot of people get confused and they overcomplicate it. This is really all you need. If you want any more videos on any specific topics like ads, landing pages, instant forms, building a Go High level, automations, ISA calling, anything like that, let me know in the comments. This is kind of a whole round overview of what we do to fulfill for our clients. And if you want one-on-one coaching, click the link in the bio. I do provide one-on-one coaching for people with agencies, either if you're at 5, 10K a month, 20K a month, 30K a month, there's always ways to improve. That's my specialty, is I love operations and fulfillment. The more you have your service dialed and actually be able to fulfill for your clients, the easier it is to sell with confidence. So let me know if you want that. Just click the link in the bio, book in a call. But overall, hope this video helped. It's really, really important to get results for your clients and have a templated out system to copy and paste so you're not scrambling and you can take on 10, 20 clients a month, no problem, easy peasy. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you got some value. Let me know if you have any more topics you'd like me to dive deep on. And yeah, enjoy. Peace.